seconds.
And we're live.
Oh,
Do we have a feed?
We have no feed.
First couple days were just really tough because I'd never seen.
Are we on the air?
So dependent on so many people.
Tonight, News 3 hears exclusively from the best friend of a UW student recovering after a terrible diving accident, broke his neck.
There are those in our emergency rooms and hospitals prepared to protect themselves and others from Ebola. The response from the Worldwide Nurses Organization is coming up.
I am worried. I'm deeply worried.
Plus, a man who moved to Madison from Liberia says the deadly disease has given his country a bad name. Hello and welcome to News 3 at 10. New tonight, the first potential carrier of the virus in Wisconsin has been reportedly quarantined at a jail in Kenosha.
That's right, potentially. A woman from Liberia is being detained at the Kenosha County Jail right now as a precaution. The sheriff's office confirms that a woman was transported to the jail about 1 this morning following a screening down at O'Hare Airport, Chicago. Officials there realizing she was coming from a country hit hard by the Ebola outbreak.
It's a scary disease that's out there. We've made calls to the CDC, and they've sent us information. Immigration has sent us information.
Sheriff says the woman is being held in a negative airflow cell and is being looked after by medical staff. She is being held as a federal immigration detainee until she can be deported.
Meanwhile, several U.S. airports are adding additional screening on travelers from West Africa. This comes after the first person diagnosed with the virus in the U.S. has died. 42-year-old Thomas Eric Duncan passed away this week after being hospitalized in Dallas since late last month. Now, federal officials have announced they will start checking passengers from West Africa for fever in Chicago, New York, New Jersey, Washington, D.C., and Atlanta. But this outbreak and its connection to West African countries has some worried about the negative connotations.
And new at 10, the 19th, Danica Lewis sits down with a Liberian living here in Madison who's worried about how all of this will affect his home country. Danica?
Eric, that's right. Tonight we meet a man who calls his country a rising star, a community of resilience. But all people seem to hear about right now is Ebola and how strongly it's linked to Liberia. And he's stuck listening to the horror stories from his family and friends instead of hopping on a plane to help.
I'm worried. I'm deeply concerned.
Emmanuel Ure left Liberia 4 years ago to study at UW. All he wants to do now is go back and help.
There's a very, very serious problem.
But he can't.
Talking about trying to restrict travel to Liberia or from Liberia, that's not a good news. Not at all.
Ure's parents, child, siblings, and friends living in Africa that he says he wouldn't recognize.
It will be contained. I have no doubt about it. But it's going to get worse, and it is in the worst situation right now.
Thomas Eric Duncan, the first diagnosed on U.S. soil, the man who died from Ebola at a Dallas hospital Wednesday, came from Liberia. Now, a Liberian inmate is under close watch at the Kenosha County Jail after showing symptoms. Ure says the connections between his homeland and Ebola are unfortunate.
So I feel bad about it.
Plaguing American opinions of his country.
Each time we try to climb the ladder, something jump in it and try to pull her back. But we're not going to be back. We're going to move forward.
And Ure says that's just what the Liberian community will do. Move forward.
This disease is going to be contained. We are resilient people.
Ure added, it's time for education about this disease, which got us wondering if medical professionals are getting enough information and training on Ebola. Well, the Wisconsin Nurses Association's executive director told us today nurses know about it, but hospitals could be more collaborative in treatment and prevention efforts.
We aren't practicing in teams like we need to. So it means everybody communicating and for the benefit of that patient.
Screening protocols, department heads at Meriter Hospital will walk through Ebola outbreak response next week, and UW hospital staff continue to revisit and update its Ebola patient plan. Now back to you, Ray. He actually heads up the Liberian Association of Wisconsin, and the organization
will students start raising money to send overseas?
Well, a lot going on right now. Everybody trying to learn more and more about what's happening there. Danica, thank you very much.
Sure.
And the flu, of course, also on the minds of many right now.
Yeah, and it should be, because up to 30,000 people die from influenza every year in the U.S. So it is a really good time to remind everyone about the importance of getting a flu shot. We held a flu shot today at WISC, and many turned out to get their annual vaccine. Doctors encourage everyone to get a shot, especially the elderly and children 6 months and older. Next at 10, the UW junior who broke his neck during a terrible diving accident continues to recover at an area hospital.
The engineering major was diving off his fraternity house dock into Lake Mendota last month when his hand slipped. He landed on his head. In a story you'll see only on News 3, our Matthew Simon talks to the 20-year-old's best friend and updates us on how he's doing. Matthew?
Eric, Michelle, to give you some sense, he's doing better in Jake Anderson's hospital room tonight. He watched a hockey game with his fraternity brothers. One of those brothers who's speaking on behalf of Jake's family says no one is better equipped with a broken neck to deal with that than his best friend.
Jake's smarter than I am.
In fact, Jake Anderson was his high school valedictorian. Jackson Spingler remembers his friendship with him starting as hockey teammates after moving his junior year from New Mexico to a Minneapolis suburb.
And Jake was my first friend I met in Chanhassen, Minnesota.
Friendship literally becoming brotherhood as the two went off to the UW together, becoming Delta Upsilon fraternity members. Jackson now the president, Jake in charge of risk management.
I think a good way to describe Jake is if you would look at his Google Calendar.
Living a very scheduled life after the September 27th Badgers game, Jake decided, just like those many times before, he'd go for a swim, diving off the DU house's dock.
He hit his head on the bottom of the lake before his hands did and suffered a neck injury.
Luckily, Jake was able to make it to the top, calling for help. Jackson's cousin helped carry him out of the water. An ambulance rushed the 20-year-old to the hospital.
The first couple of days were they were tough. Sorry.
So rough, Jackson says, because the independent Jake so many knew was suddenly so dependent on others. As his parents talked about as they vlogged, surgery took pressure off his spinal cord, but they do not know how badly it's damaged.
I've seen web stories and stuff saying that Jake's paralyzed. No one's ever said that. I've been to the hospital every single day.
And as the days have gone on and the breathing tubes come out, Jake, in only a way his loved ones say he can, is now inspiring hope.
I think it was like maybe the third or fourth day after he finally got his breathing tube out. He told me, he's like, I can't be happy unless you're happy and unless the people around me are happy. Jake didn't injure his brain, he didn't injure his heart. He's still the same exact kid.
And to help the family with medical expenses, a fundraiser will be held October 14th at Chaser's Bar and Grill. Or log on to the webpage with Jake's nickname, jandystrong.com. Jake is better every day, signs like he's talking a lot more now. And you saw the pictures there, he's smiling when he's talking.
We wish him nothing but the best and a speedy recovery, and hopefully as he progresses, they'll be able to see more and improving his prognosis.
Absolutely.
Matthew,
you hope this gets better every single day.
Yeah.
Thanks, Matthew.
The NFL commissioner held a discussion today on the league's domestic violence policy. Roger Goodell spoke for about 5 hours with NFL owners today to address the league's priorities when it comes to domestic violence, child and sexual abuse cases by players and coaches. Goodell explained possible interim suspensions players could face and paid leave of absence. But Goodell said it is not simple to implement change, saying, quote, you have different state laws, different criminal proceedings, law enforcement standards. These are complex. You're trying to balance due process while making sure to protect the integrity of the game.
The city of Seattle will replace Columbus Day with Indigenous Peoples Day. Activists saying the holiday should be changed to stop celebrating a man who started a genocide.
It internalizes genocide in our children, and it makes them ashamed to be who they are. I personally felt it myself growing up, and it's just time to change it so that they can be proud of themselves and not honor a man that murdered their family.
Seattle City Council voted for the change today. Columbus Day became a federal holiday back in 1937. Campaign 2014 coverage now, and a look at the absentee ballots causing confusion for voters.
Wisconsin voters are receiving official absentee ballot applications that also contain instructions to vote for particular candidates. The Government Accountability Board tells News 3 they've seen these mailers in previous elections and they regularly get calls about them.
That's where the issue comes, because some people get this and they see their local clerk's name on it and they say, why is my local clerk sending this out? Well, the local clerk didn't send it out.
The GAB says there's nothing illegal going on. The documents are considered public information and anyone is free to send it out to voters, but you can contact your clerk's office to request the form directly.
And a quick reminder that voter registration by mail or at a Madison Public Library closes at 5 p.m. on October 15th. That is a week away. After that date, you can still register at the county clerk's office through Friday, October 31st, and you can register at the polls on November 4th, Election Day. To check your registration status, go to myvote.wi.gov. Coming up on News 3, a step forward for a child care center plagued with problems in the past.
It's the beginning of something good for Madison's South Side. We'll explain.
Overnight, a couple of light rain showers are a possibility well southwest of Madison. Look for a morning low of 38 degrees. Tomorrow, look for mostly sunny skies and our high temperature topping out at around 59. I'll have your full forecast coming up in a few minutes.
You're watching Eric Franti and Michelle Lee. Meteorologist Gary Canalti. And Jay Wilson with sports. This is News 3 at 10.
Well, there it is.
Woohoo!
Woohoo!
Hey, how's it going?
Everyone's so quiet. Why is everyone
Sorry.
so quiet?
La 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 la.
Hello, Madison.
Well, she said people are quiet, so I fixed it. I went la la la.
We're getting random views of Gary on the green screen.
What do you think about what, Gary? What do you think about the?
I like football. I like football.
What did you think about that NFL story? Because Nick, I saw you had a comment in the chat.
I had somebody on my.
Oh, wait, you mean the integrity means marketability?
Very unflattering name.
Do you guys agree with that?
Do what?
Well, they do have to protect their brand.
It's all about the money.
Yeah, it's all about PR.
Like everything else in the world, it's defending your image and appearing to look good and saving all those billions of dollars. Because no one wants to buy a jersey of someone who beats people up, especially children and women. No one wants to buy that jersey. I wouldn't wear that. Like, would you buy a Michael Vick jersey?
Nope.
Just saying.
Yeah,
a lot of people would because of his career as a football player. I mean,
no, because his side career as a dogfighter and animal abuser.
Right, but he's already served time for that. I mean,
Yeah,
Josh
but
Brent
still.
is about to play for the Dallas Cowboys again, and he killed a teammate in a drunk driving accident. He rolled over his car, and his buddy died.
It's all about the fact that Americans care more about entertainment than about caring for people around them.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I was wondering how long can the NFL ride like all these issues out, or do you think they'll have to address them? That was something that like I saw like someone talk about like on
addressed
privately
and
or
not
publicly.
just the NFL, all of the fan base, the fact that people are still putting money forth to the NFL, and even if they say, oh, well, I don't support that, but I'm still going to spend this amount of money on Super Bowl tickets, or I'm going to spend this amount of money on whatever jerseys they're wearing, money is still going forth, so technically you're still supporting all of the crap that's going on with it.
Can you hear me?
Oh, show's back. Darn it.
The location, once called Child Development Inc., which offered free child care in the area for decades, has been renamed One City Early Learning Center, and it's reopening as a nonprofit that hopes to serve at least 90 children. Located on Fisher Street, it's open to children ages 6 weeks to 5 years old.
Madison City Council has approved land deal talks for a proposed public market. A location around East Wash at First Street is the goal right now. $8.5 million set aside in Mayor Soglin's capital budget to allow for the market. Commuters between Madison, Belleville, and Paola, listen up.
Yeah, road work is done to smooth out Highway 69 between Verona and Belleville. The work started in September and cost more than $2 million. And the full reconstruction of the highway should be done by 2019. So
a lot smoother. Remember the old video we'd have of that road?
I know.
That was rough.
That almost looks like a video.
Just drive back and forth a little bit.
Hopefully the potholes are a ways off, but we're starting to see those cooler temperatures and frost maybe in the forecast.
Yeah, you know, I think our better chances for frost are probably going to be Friday night, but we're not looking at anything drastically cold. On this date, 143 years ago today, of course, we had the Peshtigo Fire that killed anywhere between 1,500 and 2,500 people. This fire burned an area 2 times the size of the state of Rhode Island and actually crossed over Green Bay and burned parts of Door County. Same day as the Chicago fire, much more well known because it burned out the downtown area of the city of Chicago, causing about 300 fatalities. Then on the same day, big fires in Manistee and Holland, Michigan, also across the state at Port Huron, Michigan as well. Now as we look at Doppler 3000, a little bit of rain to our south and to our west. You can see how this rain, though, is spreading to the east-southeast, so it's probably just going to clip far southwestern Wisconsin. Areas north of Madison should stay dry. Areas south of Madison, mostly dry, just a chance for a shower, mainly down toward Grant County. High today, 65, the low 45, a little bit above the averages of 62 and 41. We're at 46 now with partly cloudy skies. The air is calm. Humidity has crept up to 73%. High temperatures today stayed in the 40s up near Lake Superior, but we're well into the 60s or close to the 70 from southern Wisconsin into northern Illinois. Weather track tonight shows those high clouds coming in from the west are thickening up a little bit farther to the west across portions of Iowa where the rain showers are occurring. A little area of high pressure down to the south will give us enough dry air to keep most of the showers down to our south. Temperatures are already in the 30s up near the U.S.-Canadian border, but south of that rain area are still in the 60s where the atmosphere is a little bit more humid. As we look at high-resolution future track, you can see how this area of rain just kind of clips us and heads to the south. Most of the rain stays away from us after that, and skies clear out. That will lead to colder temperatures for tomorrow night and probably for Friday as well, Friday night as well, when temperatures could get down close to the freezing mark. Forecast for the overnight hours, partly cloudy, a chance for a shower mainly south and west of Madison, low temperature at 38. Tomorrow we're back to partly sunny skies, seasonably cool with a high temperature of 59 degrees. Pinpoint City forecast for tomorrow, temperatures getting up to 59 in Plain, 56 in Adams, 59 in Mount Horeb with partly sunny skies. And then for Friday, look for mostly sunny skies, high only 55 in Gays Mills, and also the same in Marshall. To the south and east of Madison, look for high of 61 in Beloit, 59 tomorrow in Stone with partly sunny skies. And Friday, mostly sunny, a little cooler, high of 54 in New Glarus, 55 degrees in Watertown. 7-day forecast calls for those low temperatures to stay in the low to mid-30s all the way through the weekend. Daytime high temperatures in the 50s will gradually climb into the 60s early next week. We'll see our best chances of rain in the next 7 days on Monday. Any showers ending early on Tuesday, and middle part of the week actually looking pretty mild. Tonight's backyard weather photo comes from Dave Schindler of Lancaster. Another pretty pond in the backyard. A lot of people putting ponds now in their landscaping. Very nice. For tomorrow, high temperature at 58 degrees, so seasonably cool. Shouldn't get cold enough to freeze the pond for tomorrow night, though. And send us your backyard pictures to backyard@channel3000.com.
All right. Gary, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
A warning is reissued by the Dane County Sheriff's Office. We're on your side with those details next.
And an estimate out today predicts good news for our nation's budget. Stay with us. News 3 at 10 continues after a short break.
News 3 weather is brought to you by McDonald's.
What?
I know, like Gary's suddenly like a landscaping expert.
I love
He's
when
like,
he chimes in on
Gary's like, oh, I think more people are building ponds.
That's all.
Okay.
Because there was a pond that looked
ornamental
exactly like that one
horticulture.
yesterday.
Were you here when he did that?
No.
He goes, that's a little here.
Kangaroo, what?
Kangaroos. I do not want a kangaroo.
Oh, okay, that's the sports rundown.
No,
Okay,
that's
gotcha.
sorry, that is the list of sports.
Okay, gotcha.
Wait, hold on. Fox, Post, Peterson, Favre, Hawk, and a kangaroo?
Yeah, just say W. I guess that must be like probably some Wisconsin thing.
And what's it? Oh wait, is that the kangaroo we saw earlier?
Yeah, that's the one that we saw at 9 probably.
Jody over there.
That's a good kangaroo.
I get it. Don't get it, Dennis. Don't get it. Don't get it.
He's got it. It's way too much trouble for you.
It's not either. I just was Regis.
Hold it here while you read it.
Look how much taller Eric is than me. There's Eric.
Well, Derek.
There's Eric.
That is ridiculous.
There's Eric. And there's me. Hi! Eric's 7'2".
This is how tall I was when I was 8.
That's not true.
I think I was.
Michelle, are you up to his shoulder again?
No, here's how tall I am for real.
Oh. Wow.
Does it look like a really...
Oh, wait, you just blacked out.
You rang. I feel like Lurch.
Can I put this here and will it work?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Ooh.
That's making me nervous.
Maybe it's getting a little choppy.
Don't drop it.
The whole monitor around, they can watch on this one.
Oh, that's okay. I don't know. I'll just float it here. It's okay.
You rang.
I don't care. You guys don't have to look at
Let's
us.
give him an accurate distance shot. Back up. This is the true discrepancy in height.
1 minute.
You know that Ted Cassidy that played Verge on the Adams Family read the news here in Dallas?
It's taller.
I was standing up on the thing. God, you are just so tiny.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, I gotta. Places. You gotta mute me though.
Oh, here we go.
34th anniversary sale. Save up to 30.
Crap. Screw you, mattresses.
Don't hate the mattress.
On your side tonight with a reissued warning from the Dane County Sheriff's Office. A scam made public by the Sheriff's Office in September is still an issue.
Yeah, officials say someone is posing as local law enforcement officers to scare people into giving them money. They say the recipient of the call has missed jury duty and has to pay a fine or risk being arrested. In the last 2 days, the Sheriff's Office has gotten at least 15 reports of citizens receiving these calls. The Sheriff's Department wants to know that it would never call in this manner to collect any fees, nor would it reach out by phone about jury duty. If you have received one of these calls, leave a message on the Sheriff's Office tip line at 284-6900. Good news ahead for winter. The cost to heat your home is expected to drop.
We Energy says warmer weather and lower natural gas prices could push heating costs down by 26% this year. The company says last year was the coldest heating season in its history, causing natural gas prices to increase by 42%. Now that averaged out to $783 for the coldest 6 months of the year. And if you use propane, you're also in luck. That fuel price should drop this winter as well.
But don't spend all those savings on coffee. That hot cup of joe could get more expensive again. Wall Street Journal reporting the price of coffee beans is the highest it's been in more than 2 years. You can blame dry weather and crop problems down in Brazil, but don't go hunting for extra change just yet. The paper says big roasters like Starbucks, well, they've already fixed their prices through 2015. For the 5th straight year, the federal budget deficit is on the decline.
The estimate out today by the Congressional Budget Office has the deficit at about $195 billion less than it was last year. The deficit is the gap, of course, between how much the government spends and how much it collects over the year. It borrows to make up the difference. The biggest reason for the slide, an improving economy, higher taxes, and continued spending restraint.
A new era of Milwaukee Bucks basketball tips off tonight. They hope Kevin takes us to Green Bay. Preseason opener next in sports.
We are Madison's.
Nick, did he really say jury duder? Because I'm pretty sure he said jury duder.
Jury duder.
Jury duder.
Jury
He said
duder.
Jury duder.
Jury duder.
Jury duder.
Jury duder.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, I know what I
Did
heard.
you ever see that movie, The Rural Juror?
The rural juror? No.
The rural juror.
The rural juror.
The rural juror.
Oh, thank you. Are you guys 30 Rock fans, or were you just repeating me?
No, I watched 30 Rock. Most of
Did
it.
you ever see that episode when Jenna was in that movie called The Rural Juror?
Oh,
No one could pronounce the rural juror. Kind of like Eric trying to say.
It's the kind of thing I'd have to rewatch. I have to rewatch all those.
I started to lose. You were laughing about something. Before
I
that.
remember you said something that was.
No, it was before that.
7.
Show.
Our Bucks. What can we not show? Bucks, Post, Peterson, Favre. Post is loaded, so we can't show Bucks. Or...
Like I said, it's not from TV.
Oh, okay. So can we shoot all of it? I mean, can we show? What can we not show?
You can show
I
it.
can't show a televised. I don't know.
You can show that.
So we can show everything. We can show everything.
Bucks was.
Hooray!
Not the.
Not the Bucks.
No, you can show that.
Our the Bucks.
Yeah, we can show it all because if it's shot by us, then it's fine. Or someone. If it's shot by someone, it's okay. But if it's televised, like. Yeah. So I think.
Okay.
Okay, jury duder.
Jury duder.
Jury duder. Hey, what happened to Stacy? I thought she was gonna give us a show after work.
I think your internet's fell out. Look at Billy. He's so lack of internet. He hasn't really spoken.
Does he move?
Yeah.
Yes, he moves. I think.
Billy hasn't joined us hangout for about 6 months.
Yeah, Billy. Looking at you, buddy.
Oh no, Paul Ryan. No.
Oh no.
Pinocchio with plastic surgery. Go away.
I don't trust him. He's not even my congressman, and I don't trust him.
What do you guys know about Paul Ryan?
That sounds different.
That he wants to take away my grandma's Medicare. That's all I
If
know.
he was wearing a bow tie, he looked like Pee Wee Herman.
You guys consider yourself well informed?
Well, I'm about to be well informed about when I get out of here when I go watch the debate for my congressman's.
The Bucks looking forward to officially turning
page on a historically bad 2013 season. Milwaukee has new owners, new head coach Jason Kidd, and new faces like Jabari Parker, and maybe some new hope. Opening preseason play tonight in Green Bay against the Memphis Grizzlies. The aforementioned Parker, nice moves, hits the floater, 14 points, 8 rebounds. Former Badger John Lure in the house for the visitors. Finishes with a dunk and finishes from distance. He had 11 points, 5 rebounds, but on the break, watch the behind the back. Brandon Knight to Jared Dudley, newest Buck. Bucks win at 86-83. They are in Detroit tomorrow. Vikings running back Adrian Peterson won't be back on the field anytime soon. It probably won't be until potential playoff time at the earliest. Peterson appeared in Texas court today but did not enter a plea to charges of child abuse. A spokesperson said that if Peterson had been asked, he would have entered a plea if not guilty. A tentative trial date has been set for December 1st. Peterson's been on the exempt commissioner's permission list since September 17th, where he receives full pay but is banned from team activities until the court case is figured out. Most records need to be broken. Barring something strange, Brett Favre's career touchdown mark of 508 will be shattered. The man who's chasing it down will own many records when he retires. Broncos quarterback Peyton Manning needs 6 to break Favre's record. And the former Packers gunslinger has no problem whatsoever, saying today, "I'm glad it's Peyton that's doing it. I think a lot of Peyton. His dad was one of my idols." The Broncos play the Jets this weekend. Current Packers, along with the rest of the league, better say no to human growth hormone. It's the better late than never news of the day. The NFL is testing for HGH, says it wants to do more to level the playing field. Random testing now league-wide with the condition that testing doesn't happen on game day since it involves drawing blood. If you aren't doing it, you have nothing to hide.
If you're not going to test for it, guys are going to do it. So I don't know what that number or percentage would be if guys in the league. I have no idea. But it's good. Anytime you can keep everything fair, it's good for us.
I don't do drugs, so I don't care. Well, you would, like I said, I don't do drugs, so I listen to the DARE program.
Mike Daniels, role model for all. Packers 3-2, Dolphins are 2-2, led by former Green Bay offensive coordinator Joe Philbin. Mike McCarthy's team virtually unbeatable in their last 15 October games. Kickoff is set for noon on Sunday. Now the greatest video of all time. If you're a boxing fan, what if you woke up and saw this in the street in front of your house? Yeah, Rodney Langham in Australia. This is why the video is closing in on 500,000 views. Look at the balance on the tail before throwing the jab.
Oh my God.
Maybe it's two guys fighting over a girl kangaroo.
That's what it is.
It's got to be.
Over
It's
5
always
minutes
a
they
girl.
went on, and then they went between the two houses there in the background. So look at that.
Wow.
Sort of settled things. I don't think you want to be on the business end of one of those kicks, but we might have a gold mine, guys. We set up a little kangaroo fight night in southern Wisconsin. I get a ring, maybe get some gloves.
Yeah, they said this happens in this neighborhood.
In this neighborhood, this is great. I know it happens in the wild, but sure.
They're probably like, yeah, just watch the fight. Let's watch the front yard.
They go
Turn
when
on
they're
the
done.
camera.
They just go off. Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Kevin, thanks.
We'll be right back.
That is crazy. We got another. If we keep our kicker, hold on. Are we keeping our kicker, or is she figuring it out?
Speaking of sports, look at these wild animals.
Alyssa just said we have the kicker and then 40 seconds. So our kicker is another animal story, which is kind. That kangaroo. Don't you think that kangaroo was cool?
So why aren't y'all talking about enterovirus?
What did you say?
Why aren't y'all talking about enterovirus in addition to Ebola?
We have talked about it. We just haven't talked about it recently, like in the last 2 days, probably. Why? What's new where you are?
Well, there's nothing new here. It just seems like it's affecting a lot more people in this country than Ebola is.
Well, I think that Ebola, yeah, you're right. Ebola and enterovirus, the D68 strain, isn't that what it is? The D68?
What?
Enterovirus?
D68?
Yeah, D68. Yeah. Enterovirus. Enterovirus. I know, I can't.
Enterovirus.
I can't get my pronunciations right. There's Gary, wave.
Hi, Gary.
We got yours.
Did you guys get your push?
believe in that sort of thing.
Wow, we have another woman on the news.
It's all a government conspiracy.
That was Kevin Lewis. That wasn't me.
Yeah.
Did you guys get your flu shot?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay.
I don't do flu shots.
Why?
Because I never get sick.
Yeah, because you live in that dungeon.
I'm in isolation.
Now and forever, until he chooses otherwise.
See, if I'm sick, somebody else has
If I get the flu, I'm going to go into the weather office and I'm going to lick your keyboard.
You're out of every cup in there.
Won't bother me because I'll have the flu shot.
Oh, it will. I'm going to get the strain that doesn't protect me.
Oh my gosh.
Because he thinks he's invincible.
That's biological warfare, Eric.
Ooh-la.
No, getting on the bus and doing it, that's biological warfare.
Oh, wait, is this the Wisconsin highway? This is today. Drivers pulling over to get a glimpse of this guy, a moose. Now, biologists from the state's Department of Natural Resources say the animal most likely simply migrating from northern Minnesota or Michigan. They say that at this time they have no plans to relocate or interfere with the moose, saying it is simply a wild animal doing what wild animals do. In this case, checking out a cameraman. They're like, what are you
It's
doing,
supposed to
buddy?
be in Michigan and Minnesota. What's it doing by Eau Claire? It's a little off.
Oh, he's heading south.
Wisconsin wants to join the Bucks. See what I did there?
Yeah. It is, yeah.
All right.
He's enjoying the weather down here. A little too cold up there.
It's going to get a little chilly up there the next couple of nights, but around here, look for high 59 tomorrow, 55 on Friday, and then for the weekend, 58 Saturday and 62 on Sunday. A little chilly, though, Saturday morning, 32 for the overnight low temperature. Could be the first time we hit freezing here in Madison.
Oh boy, here we go. Thanks, Gary.
Okay. Thanks, Gary, and thank you for joining us, folks, for News 3 at 10. Have a great night.
Thanks, Gary.
My garage door won't open.
You got to park outside, both of you?
Or can you park
So wait, why is Anthony holding his hands up? Are you being held up?
Yeah, I tried that.
You're funny. Aren't we? Just full of jokes.
That far. There's something that's preventing it.
Oh, yeah, you remember.
Chain link.
Fire tracking that, all right. Better get that guy out there tomorrow.
Oh wow, it just got dark in the studio.
It's almost as dark as Billy's house.
Look, man, I can't help it. I don't know what to do.
Well, it's okay.
Say bye to Eric.
All right, Billy. There's this thing called the light bulb. Thomas says it invented like 100 years ago or something. All you gotta do is plug one into a socket and turn it on. That's
whole
the plug.
It's the camera. It's the
Yeah,
camera.
you see that? You see that? That's called a light. It came with my hoose. There's another one right there.
This room is lit up. This camera.
I hear lies. It's smoke screen.
I can see everything in here. I'm telling you.
Well, then your camera's like must be adding 10 pounds too.
Oh.
Camera's a liar.
Ridiculous. Really. It looks like I'm in the dark. I'm not in the dark. I can see everything in here.
Yeah, because you know what's in there. I can turn off the lights in my office and I can know where everything is.
No, the lights are on, man.
Likely story. You're lucky you're so far away, or I'd come over there and I'd verify all this stuff. But you're over there and I'm over here. And also, yeah, that's all I can come up with.
How about that cab fare?
Well, if you want to pay for it, I will drive there and I will be there within 3 days. My face will be in your face.
Driving across the country to inspect lights.
That's
you guys
how
want to
petty
see
I am.
something really cool?
What's up? What you got?
I will show you. I'll screen share it. Hold on. I interviewed this woman today on YouTube, over YouTube, and she is really cool. And I want you guys to spread the word about her story, but I need to post it first, so I'm probably going to do that either tonight or tomorrow. But her name is Maggie Gifford. Let me screen share it for a second. Can you see that?
I see a black rectangle. Oh.
Hold on.
Nah, I see it. I see it.
So her name is Maggie Gifford, and she is adopted from Korea, and she just found out that she has a twin. So she's trying to find her twin. How cool is that, though?
Ooh.
Yeah, so her twin was also adopted, but she doesn't know where. So a lot of people are sharing her picture, obviously, so that maybe she can find her sister. How cool is that?
It's pretty awesome.
I think it's awesome.
It's pretty cool.
Can you imagine what that would be like to wake up and then find out that you have not only a sibling, but to find out that you have a twin?
I don't think the world's ready for another Anthony.
Identical or fraternal twin?
Well, I don't know.
All I know is I am me. My mom said there's only one of me, so I think we're safe. That is pretty cool that she's looking.
Yeah, that is
Hopefully
pretty cool.
she finds her.
I know. I hope so too. Her name's Maggie Gifford, and like I said, I'll probably blog about it tomorrow. But I interviewed her on Google Plus, and then so we were live on YouTube tonight. But it was so weird when I did the interview. It didn't show up. My video was very sketchy tonight. So, but she's clear, so that's all that matters.
You should invite her into this hangout tomorrow.
Yeah, I could. I should actually. But it's late. She's on the East Coast. She's in New York. So here's what's crazy, though. Her twin could literally be in New York near her, or she could be in Wisconsin, or she could be in North Carolina. She could be in London. I mean, just think about there's someone out there who looks like her, who was in the womb with her, and they are somewhere in the world. I just think it's really fascinating. Just to know what it would be like to wake up and be like, oh, yeah, I have a twin. Nuts. Anyway, what did you guys think of our stories tonight? Did you have any thoughts or opinions?
I can't really comment on most of the local stuff because I'm here.
The Ebola stuff?
Oh, that I can comment on.
What do you think? Have you been following that
Yeah.
story? I mean, at least the guy who died today in Dallas.
Yeah, we all got freaked out when it entered Englewood.
Really? Why? I mean,
well, this guy.
Why?
Someone got. They came in. They were from Liberia. Then they grabbed him and they threw him in a hospital in Englewood. And now they're watching him, and everyone's freaked out. Even though he wasn't showing. Oh yeah, it made breaking news on KTLA. So everyone down there's freaking out.
We have had constant breaking news here because everyone who was possibly in contact.
Oh yeah, they gotta find him.
With the Duncan guy that died today. Every time one of them has like gas, we're gonna break in and local programming because apparently upset stomach is a symptom of Ebola, and if they've come into contact with the Ebola patient and they have like an upset stomach or fever for any reason, they could have hay fever. We're gonna break in news and monger fear about it because
well, but I
don't think excessively paranoid.
But I don't think that it's. I don't know because I'm not in Dallas, but I feel like it's a serious enough situation that if you get Ebola, there's a very high chance that you will not survive. So I think that's it's not like the flu or something. Even though more people die from the flu every year, I still think it's like kind of a different situation. You don't think so? You think the media is being fear mongering?
They're hyping too much.
Yeah, they're fear mongering because if a second person is confirmed to have Ebola because of the first person, then maybe things are fanning out and things are about to get hairy. But so far, nobody else has shown any symptoms.
But there's like a 21-day incubation period, right? Or where you need to be isolated for 27
There's 10 days, and it's been 10 days since they diagnosed the guy. And it's considered to be the hot zone. There's still another 11 days that they're going to keep an eye on him. But it's still for beating us over the head with it. This one guy.
But if let's say that guy came in contact with like 45 people. I read it was like in the 40s. Okay, so what if we don't know all that we know about? What if we don't know what we think we know about Ebola? You know what I mean? What if it is easier to spread than what we thought it was, or maybe I don't know. Do you? I mean, I don't know. Like if you came down with Ebola, wouldn't you be scared? Because it's.
If I found that I was having symptoms of it, I would go to the doctor. I'd go to the hospital and figure out what's going on. I'm not going to freak out. It might just be a sore throat.
This deputy.
You don't know you have it until you know you have it.
There was a deputy that entered the apartment of the Liberian visitor guy who started to feel symptoms. And so he went to Care Now, which is a walk-in clinic. And so they had to shut down the Care Now. They had to inspect a lot of things there. I mean, it was just a huge, big situation.
Okay.
I kind of want to go camping for a week and just hide from the news for a while because I'm so tired of hearing things that may or may not be a big deal.
I understand. Well, what do you think? Let me ask you, because this is the dilemma that news stations face all the time. So if you don't think that Ebola is a lead story, what would be a good lead story in your opinion?
Instead of Ebola?
Well, what is bigger? What is going on that's bigger to you, whether it's a national story or one in your neighborhood, that's fine too. But what do you think is a bigger national story than Ebola?
I get where you're going. Ebola is a big story because of its tenacity. It kills almost everybody that it infects. Everybody wants to complain. And like, this is not a real story. But it is. It is. Not because it's so such a. I mean, as viruses go, it's a pretty lame virus, but it is deadly once you get it, and it is rare.
Maybe that's the thing, isn't it?
Well, the ZMapp is out too. I mean, the ZMapp is, or supposedly it's out anyway. You know, I'm sure that you could debate that, but you know, what we've been saying is that ZMapp is out. It takes months to produce, like on tobacco leaves or something. So they're using a drug that's being made in North Carolina. I said it last night, and now I can't pronounce it again. But it begins with a B. But it's being made in North Carolina, and that was the experimental drug that the guy in Dallas was using, but did not obviously save his life. And that's also this.
It was too little, too late.
Yeah,
Those
but that's
two
also
other,
this.
those-
Go
well,
ahead,
they
sorry.
gave it to those two other people in West Africa, and they seem to be okay now. It's just
And
it
they-
knocks down your immune system pretty good, and that guy's in for a respiratory infection, but that's about it.
They also gave it to the guy, the freelance journalist in Omaha. So,
Yeah.
I mean, that's scary stuff. You know, if someone's like, "Hey, if you get this, you have a high probability of dying," that's like really
Yeah.
scary. And plus, I mean, you know, you always see those. I'm not trying to be like too hyped up about it, but you see those movies like Contagion and stuff, and you think, "Oh my gosh, it's so
Right.
easy to get sick," you know.
So they make it sound.
If you get sick, it's like it's fatal. But then at the same token, they tell you all the symptoms. They tell you how the possibilities of you getting it, and how if it's in a well-developed society or a civilization, then it won't really devastate everybody. It won't break out like you've seen in the movies. But then you'd be like, but if I catch it, then it's like fatal. How come y'all haven't worked on a cure or come up with a way to control it?
There's a reason there's no vaccine. The reason there's no vaccine is because it hasn't been deadly enough for them to justify a vaccine. Those vaccines cost millions of dollars, and if they can make money off of it, they'll do it. But they haven't. They can't make any. There's no market there because nobody has Ebola. Really, that's the whole reason there's not a vaccine.
Yeah, vaccine for AIDS, but they've been working on it.
Yeah, but that's killed millions of people.
Right.
Ebola hasn't killed enough people yet. That's the problem.
Capitalism, man. We don't make vaccines because we need them. We make vaccines because they make money.
And here comes the bad part. The other reason they haven't, in my opinion, they haven't been making the Ebola vaccine is because it hasn't been infecting developed nations.
No, right, yeah. People
AIDS,
that have
cancer, everything else that affects everybody, but Ebola's only been attacking underdeveloped nations. So those people aren't going to pay.
We'll never get a grasp over here. We can build up enough hype here to justify a vaccine, but I don't think it'll get a grasp. The basic hygiene that you were taught in elementary school or by your parents will keep it from blowing, just going crazy.
Yep. Wash your hands and don't touch what you don't know.
And don't sneeze in people's faces.
Yeah.
You already know these things. But in underdeveloped countries, they just, they eat out of the same stuff. They cough in each other's faces. They don't have good hygiene. They don't.
Yeah.
There's hand sanitizer on every corner in America.
Yep. We've got infinite bottles in my class.
That alone, just the fact that that's there. All it would take is dust masks and hand sanitizer to keep it spreading. That's about you can't get past that.
But I think that, that's easy to say, but doesn't everyone think that they're very thorough on, hand washing and, good hygiene practices, and they still end up getting sick every year? I do.
Yeah, because flu is so much tougher and so much more contagious than Ebola. It really is. Ebola is not as contagious as the common cold.
But someone said that, if they sneeze on you or something, and it goes into your mucus glands, then you could possibly get Ebola. I mean, that's stuff that it's not. I mean, obviously, if it was respiratory, that would be much more serious. I mean, much more scary. But I mean, if someone happened to sneeze on you and it rested in your mucus glands, that's not like.
That's how you catch a cold, and you have one every year.
Yeah, well, I don't want to catch Ebola.
Right. It's like the lottery. The
Nobody
chances
wants to catch Ebola. I mean,
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, you know.
the chances of winning are very low in the lottery, but if you do win, that's millions of dollars. That's the way Ebola is. It's deadly if you get it. But the chances.
Enterovirus is spreading over here. It is making kids sick. It's paralyzing them.
Yeah.
And it's acting like polio in children. And one person has confirmed Ebola over here. And it's all.
Yeah,
It's
I don't.
frustrating. I'm tired
Yeah,
of hearing about it.
I think we've reported I think the last time we had like 5 cases. I'm not sure actually because we haven't had a number in a couple of days, but we've been keeping an eye on that too. Anyway, any last thoughts on Ebola or enterovirus or the flu shot or anything else that you don't want to catch this year?
No,
I'm fine. You should get a pneumonia shot too, because pneumonia really sucks.
Yeah, that's not fun.
No, it's not fun. All right, guys, I'm going to get us off of YouTube. So say good night, and we will see you tomorrow.
Good night.
Bye.
Night.